Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining. We're going to give a little bit of time to everybody that is wanting to jump on today. I'm Stephen Uhelka with California State Parks, and today we are going to be talking a little bit about how to find windows into nature. I know right now is a kind of tough time. We're all being stuck indoors, and you know, our parks have been closed down to a lot of our visitors, and it's really sad to see. But this is going to be an activity that we can all do from the comfort of our own homes, maybe in your backyard, finding a beautiful natural setting to where you can follow along. So we're going to talk a little bit about windows into nature. And one of the ways that I like to go out on hikes is to kind of slow down, give my chance a moment to really ring into what's around me, using my senses, my eyes, for one. That's our primary sense. But we can also use our ears, our smell, our nose to smell. We can use all sorts of things in order to find windows into nature. So one thing is that I really love to do, and one of the things that inspired me to actually become a park interpreter is I started as an art major. I wanted to be a really good painter, but I found that when it came to painting nature, it became very difficult. So I had to take all these classes. It's a long story, but I found out that I had this beautiful passion for the outdoors and wanted to know more about trees, and that got me started to where I am. But back to windows into nature. Now, we can perceive our world. You know, we can walk down a trail. Every trail tells kind of a journey, but we want to find, and we're going to be painting a little bit today. I'm sorry I didn't announce that we were going to paint earlier, but this is a great way that we can kind of escape from our homes for a little bit. Now, if you are stuck in your home, you can actually find your own window. Peek out your bedroom window, and yeah, you can peek out your bedroom window. You can find one of the places that make you most comfortable, and this is a very great place where you can relax. So, first off, in order to find our window, we want to narrow our vision, right? And you have a very good tool because you're seeing me on a screen, right? So this could be very much your window into nature. Now, if you are in your own backyard and wanting to find your own window into nature, I find a good tool is to hone in on something using your fingers, making your own window there. Now, if I wanted to say concentrate on that bridge and make some great observations on that bridge, then you can close in there. If you want to make it big or smaller, you can pull it farther away from or closer to your face to make it bigger, farther away to make it smaller. So this is a way that we can hone our vision into what we want to see. But I want to look at this. Now, I had set up at this spot because this is one of my favorite places. You know, we are in Big Hendy Grove, a beautiful grove that continues on. We have 2 miles of accessible trail to everybody who comes to visit, and a beautiful grove. There's 80 acres of old growth redwoods. So we are going to be painting today, and we're going to be needing a couple of colors. And this is I'm probably not going to be able to finish this because we want to keep it somewhat short, but this is a challenge to you. If you're at home watching this and you want to try to find a window into nature, I want you to get some art supplies. Go find a special place, maybe out your room, out your bedroom window, and paint whatever you can see through that window. And then I want you to send it to us in the comments for this video, or tag us at ca.sp.mendocino. Okay, colors. You're going to need the essential colors. You're going to need blue is a good one. We also need our other primaries, is red and yellow. Now, they say in painting you can pretty much create every color from those three colors, primaries. But if you want to save some time, you can also get your secondaries. We know that blue and yellow make green. We know that yellow and red make orange. And we know that blue and red make purple. But I'm actually, since I am in a redwood grove, I'm going to use another color that's important if I want to get it accurate. And this one is burnt sienna, which is a great brown. It's kind of reddish in tone, which is very appropriate because I'm in a redwood grove, right? Okay, then you need brushes. I suggest a big brush, smaller brush, a fine tip brush. Brushes are very important, and you need a glass of water, not for drinking. This is for dipping your brushes in, because sometimes adding water can help spread out the paint a little bit better. And a good idea to also have is white paint. White paint can lighten the color hue. So, let's get going. So, we're finding our window into nature, right? And you can use this setting right here as your window to nature. You can find your own at home by focusing in on something small. You can focus in on one plant. You can focus in on everything you can see, but it's very difficult. But I want to focus in on the relationship between this bridge and this large redwood here. So, when we're painting, we got to move from the back forward. And we know that behind all this leaves and everything that we see in the background is a lot of blue sky. So we want to start with our blue sky. Now, in order to get those, you got to mix your paint. Blue sky is a combination of what you can get, that blue and white. Now, being a cleanly painter is often difficult, so it's also important that you have a wash rag, just in case paint gets somewhere where it's not supposed to be. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about windows into nature today, and I might, when I finish this painting, I'll post it in the pictures. I don't think we're going to get through it all today, but we're going to get it started at least. You don't have to be a pro painter in order to do it, but you got to try, and you got to start somewhere. By the way, if you have any questions or comments, you can add that into the in the comment field. I am paying attention to what's coming up there, but I'm going to be busy kind of painting. So I'm finding I have blue right here. I have blue over here and little pockets of blue, but I want to put it as the background because they're everywhere. But when we look at what we're seeing, the pocket of blue here. Now, what you're looking at is going to look awful different from what I'm seeing. So, because we all have our own, very own perspective here. Right? Now, I'm kind of centered on that redwood tree. So I got blue pockets there, blue pockets there. I have a lot of blue over here. Now, I'm painting on, and you can do this at home using whatever supplies you want. You can use crayons, you can use colored pencils, you can use watercolor paints. I'm currently using acrylic paint, which is a little bit more difficult, but it is still water soluble. So if you spill it on your clothing, good luck getting it out. Kind of nervous about my uniform because these are expensive, but right. So I have my sky blue. I found my little spots where I'm going to put that sky blue, and places where I want to concentrate that blue. Now, one of the, and I'm going to need a lot of it here, is a lot of brown, because these trees are very, very big. Now, with acrylic color, it's pretty forgiving in that if you put something down in the wrong place, as long as it's not too dark, you can actually paint over it, which I don't need to at the moment, but I might need to later, right? Now, I'm going to focus in on the big tree right here, and where that is on mine is right here. So I got some of that burnt sienna, or it could be brown, and you can mix browns with other colors in order to get it. I'm going to use a lot of it, and I don't have to go into detail right away. If you want to move faster with paint, you can add water, because acrylic can act as watercolor whenever you need it to. Except for getting it out of your clothes. I can't stress that enough. You want to make sure that you protect your clothes. So, I got a big redwood tree here. It's kind of what we call buttressing out towards the base. So, I'm going to start to spread it out there. And again, the details don't matter until the very end, but we're blocking out our painting. And we're finding those simple shapes. Those simple shapes. This rectangle that's right here, that's our tree. There's tons of other longer rectangles for all the trunks that we see around here. And we don't have to pay attention to too much detail here, but I know that there's a bridge here. And so where are we going to put that bridge? And again, it's different from the bridge that you guys are seeing on your end, but for me, the bridge is right there. And I'm going to start with the long cross beams. They're coming forward to us. And when we see something coming forward to us, we go from, it vanishes into the distance, right? So it gets, the end is going to be farther and farther away. And well, this is a very steady bridge. It does have a bow to it, you can see. Now, I have my hand railings there. But as I come in, I'm going to bring in those things holding up the railing. And again, this doesn't have to be super detailed. Your painting is yours and yours alone. And it gets really a lot better with practice, right? Now, I'm going to add... And you can add white to anything to make it a little bit lighter in color, right? So I noticed that my bridge has some light on the hand railing, so I think I could do. Put that hand railing there. And here we go. Now, again, it's not going to be perfect, but that's why it's a painting. You know, if we wanted it to be a picture, then we'd take a picture, right? That's just the general thing about it. If you want a painting, paint it. If you want it to be a picture, take a picture. We aren't going to get to full detail if we criticize ourselves so much. So, and this is very relaxing too. This is why I want to share this with you, is this is a meditative experience. And if you want to get better at painting, and you always wanted to be a painter, now's a great time to do it, right? Okay, now there's a lot of trail here, a lot of browns kind of going in here. We're blocking it out though, and well, it might seem like a little bit much. In the end, we can hone in on those details and make it as detailed as we want. Now, here we go. Got some smaller trees off in the distance, and as even though some of those trees that are way back there seem small from our vision, it's all a matter of perspective. So the tree is probably about 15 foot in diameter, but it's way out there, and so it appears to be a lot smaller. As well, when things get deeper into the forest, they become less detailed to our visual eye. That's why you can actually make out all these leaves that you see in the background. So we're actually going to block all that out in a nice green color. Now I want to kind of make sure I have my bridge established as a base. And I want to make sure I know where my trail is, so I'm going a little darker on the trail. All right. Now again, if you're just joining us, we're finding windows into nature, and this is something that you can do from your very own home. And we are very sorry that our parks are currently closed in a lot of places to public access as well. It's all in an effort to do our part to keep everybody safe and be healthy. But I think everybody's finding a way that they can personally, make a new hobby, find a new hobby. Yours might not be painting, you might be crocheting, you might be, able to take up running and jogging. Maybe you're finally using that treadmill that you have at home. Oh, thank you. So I have my Plantronics headset on, and it doesn't seem to be working to the extent that I am thinking that it is. But good thing it's really quiet out here. I was hoping that maybe, can you guys hear the birds? There's a lot of birds singing right now. Yeah. Okay, well, again, there's so many trees that if I were to take the time to really hone in on each individual tree, it would just defeat the relaxing purpose of being outside. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to find some trees at random spots and put them there. We're creating our own, very own forest. So we are using, a model here, this beautiful window into nature. Got the trunks of some trees off in the distance. And again, we're not going to get all the detail in here, but we can block it out. You're kind of building our forest. The more time you spend on something, the better it is. And I find that at some point you're actually going to look at this forest and you'll be like, there's my forest. And you'll be at that stopping point. At that point, I encourage you to stop what you're doing, put it on the wall. Sign it and put it on the wall. One of the biggest battles as a painter is getting away from yourself. As you are your worst critic, right? Yeah, so everybody, once I'm done, and I'm going to take a little time to do this, maybe come back down here on my free time and work on painting this. I'm just trying to inspire you to pick up that paintbrush and find your own window into nature. So, cool. Again, now we have just blocked out some blue sky, some of our bridge there. I'm going to tell you, it doesn't look great, and even I can see that. But the more I hone in and the more time I take on it, the better it will look in the end. And, don't be so critical of yourself. If you are painting something or you are going to paint something later, just know that it takes a lot of practice. Now, one thing that I have to get on here is some green. Now, the green that I have is awful dark. It's very dark green, and a lot of this might look like the same green as the redwood needles, but in order to get it to be redwood needles in light, you have to actually add some yellow, maybe some of that sky blue too, that white mixed with blue in order to get what green you're looking for. Well, so we want to get some yellow. Yeah, so right now is a great time to get creative. I have a lot of friends that have expressed interest in taking up painting or doing something to entertain themselves during this time. And it's a good way to relax. Yeah, and I just got the comment, John. I know it is a tough time for us to be indoors, and this is why it's kind of a great time to find that window into nature out from your window or out in your yard. It's trying for all of us. But if anything else, you're able to see it here. We really do miss our visitors, and would love to have somebody hanging out with me right now. But that's why you guys are here. So, all right. Now I don't want to get into too much detail with all these leaves, but what I can do is just kind of dabble my brush in certain areas, and that can give us the illusion that there is a lot of green in there. There is. If I were to look, and green is probably what we have the most of in the forest, other than that burnt sienna brown. And we can vary our green. I don't suggest mixing a whole lot of green at a time, because we can have dark greens mixed in with lighter greens, mixed in with greens that are in the light, because it kind of splots in a lot of different areas. And just dabble that brush. Now, if you are just joining us, I wanted to share that, this is a great time for us to learn to paint. My enthusiasm for nature really started as painting, and I found that I was better at educating about some of our trees and our natural world than I was at, say, painting itself. So that's where I found my niche, my place to be. Now I'm just adding some green, getting some branches. It doesn't have to be perfect again. Now, notice that I have to make some furrows in my bark. There's some dark spots in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of that brown and I'm going to mix it with a dark blue, and it's going to darken it a little bit. You can also take that, and it almost makes almost makes a black color. But we notice there is some dark furrows in that bark. All right, now, like I said before, we're really not going to get all that far into this before I want to open it up to you and give you the chance to find your own natural window. It doesn't have to be perfect, and I encourage you to do this at home. But finding your own natural window is just an amazing way. Even if it's right outside your window, maybe open up that window so you can catch that fresh air, so you can hear the birds chirping. Even urban scenes can be very beautiful. They have beautiful streets and light posts that are vanishing off in the distance. Find your own window into nature, and whether it is an urban area or a beautiful backyard with lots of plants and flowers and stuff, you can find your window into nature almost everywhere. Just have to be looking for it. So I think I've entertained long enough at this point. Thanks for joining me. This video will be on if you had joined too late. Let's see where I got, and I'm not exactly happy on it, but my window into nature is requiring a lot of work. So don't be afraid to try it out yourself, because, you know, I've been painting a long time and this is difficult. So, yeah, find your window into nature. And if you need to use my window, feel free to watch this video again and try and paint that same scene. You know, you can paint me in it. Anyways, I hope everybody is staying safe, staying healthy, and staying positive in this time. You know, it's a trying time for everybody. Parks miss you, and we would love to, you know, continue to educate you. Our Facebook live stream programs, our topics change all the time. So our topics will be changing all the time, typically be announced beforehand. But yeah, windows into nature. We're going to learn about our redwood forest. You can learn about our harbor seals, our marine protected areas, all the different things that we have here at Mendocino. We love that you're here with us. So check it out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1 o'clock p.m. As well, if you want to try out, if you're a parent of a kid and you want to get involved with our home learning program through Ports, check out the website www.ports-ca.us and check out that site, because there are tons of programs available all throughout the state, going from you know, all the parks in our beautiful state. Tons of programs and ways that you can educate yourself about maybe a park that you can't get to right now. So, from Mendocino, Stephen Yahelka, find your window into nature. Thank you for joining, and have a great rest of your day.